Hi guys, I'm back with another piece. It's gonna be on the smaller scale. So this one was when I was learning, I guess, what paint style I like from which one I didn't like, when I wanted to choose. And I did this one when I was about 23, when I first moved out from home and I had my own place and I can literally just do whatever I wanted in terms of painting. And so I didn't have to worry about mess or, whatever the case may be. Like I would have everything nice and clean. Nobody moved my stuff. We all know how that is. And so I was fooling around with realism at this point. And so without further ado, another smaller scale. But this one is I called it Twilight Night. I'm not sure. I feel like because high school wasn't too far away and I was still in the Twilight era. Yes, I was one of those. I bought the books, read them, whatever. I'm a grown up now. Anyways, so see, these are all the colors that I tried to put together, the multiple colors that I thought at the time what would it look like. And when I went camping in the military, most times, well, sometimes it was nighttime by the time we got to the campsite, so like just lights reflecting off of hills and so on and so forth kind of looked like that. And so remember I was talking about how I really appreciate working with light. So some nights the moon is like super bright where you can actually see it lighting up like the tip of the hill here or mountain, whatever I was trying to do. And you can see that this is the lighter part of the skies, and then as you move out, that's the darker side. So just to bring that in a little bit closer. See, and these the technique that I used to get this texture was, I remember I did art history, so George Brown graduation wasn't too far behind. Pointillism, that's the technique I use. So it's literally using the paintbrush and going like that. So you can use whatever size you want the dots to be. So obviously they're going to be the size of whatever brush you choose. So that's what I was working with this one. This is acrylic on canvas, and I'm pretty sure I found the signature. It says 2014. Yeah, you may not be able to see it because I put it in the dark, well, the lightest green that I could find. Yeah, you may not be able to see it, but alas, I signed it. And it said 2014, and 2014 was when I moved out into my own place from my dad's house. So there you go. This piece also, I didn't throw it aside. I just kind of had it like, it's not big. So I'm grateful for all the small ones that I did, but now I enjoy just painting grander, especially on walls as opposed to canvases. So any surface that's a little bit bigger. And so this one has been around for ages. I really like this one too because it shows sometimes how small things can mean so much. Because I'll tell you why I say that, because I remember this piece was over my tub at one point in time. So when you're taking a bath or whatever, you're just staring at it and it's staring back at you. And I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like a night sky. And it gave me peace actually and serenity, which was surprising. Because like I said, I painted it, put it away, and you sometimes run out of wall space. So once your home increases in size or whatever your living space, it doesn't matter, then you have more wall space to put pieces. So, when you finally see them on walls, it does speak differently to you, the artist, and whomever else is talking about it. And this piece, I decided to put it somewhere else of value because, well, that I deem of value in my home, because when I held the art show, somebody wanted to buy this piece. And again, I don't sell them, because they're mine, one, and two, you get so attached to a piece after you paint it, and somebody will say, or somebody has said, well, why don't you digitize them? Well, like I've said before many times on here, that digitalizing the piece doesn't do it as much justice as seeing it up close, personal. You could touch it, you can do whatever. I'm sure other artists can appreciate that fact, right? And like I said, you appreciate small things because yes, it's small, and so it was a lot easier for me to show this piece because it's small. At the time, in my head, it was small, so I didn't really care about it too much, if that makes sense. But now I do care about it because I can actually lift it up and show it. And like I said, I don't have very many of these pieces, and you can see it's rough around the edges because it's old. And this one I'm going to epoxy just because, again, appreciating the small things. It's easier to do that because epoxy, I find you have to work super quick. And so once the canvas is smaller, it makes my life a little bit easier. So I'm gonna epoxy this one. And I'm saying this to say too, appreciating the smaller things in life, that goes for everything. I find because sometimes we're so busy with the big picture that the small picture gets left in the back, and it's the small picture sometimes that has to bring us back to reality, ground us back to a place where we can function and have clarity. And so remember I was saying whenever I painted realism was when I had, I guess, the most clarity in my life. And so as the artist, this piece, I moved out of my family home. So it was a lot less chaotic. I have 6 siblings. So it was a lot less chaotic living in my own space. And oh my goodness, I painted for hours on end because I could, right? And so that was it was a peaceful time. And like I said, I don't want to say peaceful because then you would think that, oh, it was war. But no, it was just more clarity and organization and not having to, worry about other people messing up what you've just cleaned up, if that makes sense. Because if you know me, I don't like mess. Call it side effect from the military. Yes, I'm OCD. I like things a certain way, clean, whatever. It just makes life easier when it's organized and clean. Cleanliness is also next to yalliness. Just saying. So this piece, I'm starting to appreciate it. 14, I never told anybody I was good at math. So 2014 to now, however many years that is, I'm starting to appreciate this piece as I get older. I'm not sure why, but if I'm in a room for a longer period of time, I'll bring it. And I don't know, I honestly can't explain it right now, but when I look at it, I just feel shalom or peace. I really do. So I decided to share that with you guys today, and hopefully you can grab some of that peaceful feeling or calm or zen or whatever new age language people want. It's the same thing. The Oxford Dictionary just gives you the right word for it, and now they call it all these other terms that are popping up, it seems, every day as we go along. But yes, I am old, and so I like staying with what I know. So the shalom or the peace that I get from this piece, hopefully it will rub off on some people. I'll kind of step out so you can see how small it is. It's really not that big at all, but it's great. And I myself feel a little bit guilty for not appreciating it sooner, but I do now, and that's what matters, right? It doesn't matter how the milk got spilled. It's spilled already. Clean it up. Move on. So with that said, thank you guys for watching, and have yourself a peaceful day, if that makes sense.